Hi there, this is Dr. Claw welcoming you to British Literature Online Fall 2018. So I'm going to preface this by saying I know that you all signed up for a face-to-face class and it got converted to an online class. This was due to a lack of classroom space. The good news is I have taught this class many, many times face-to-face and I have taught it online. So you are in good hands and I am going to walk you through the process of doing an online class, even if you've never done that before. So to start, I am on the home page of our class Canvas. I apologize, the screen just got dimmer because the sun is going down and my computer is synced up to that. Anyway, so we're on the home page, and when you go to your dashboard on Canvas, you'll see, well, mine doesn't want to go. You will see the British Literature class, and so you are section 6, and whenever you click on that, it'll bring you right here to this home page. And I've set up the home page to try to make navigation as simple as possible. Now, I've still got all the normal links over here on the side, so if you're looking for something specific, then definitely feel free to use any of those links. These are just the main ones that you might find useful most frequently in the class. So the course schedule, that's going to be super essential to you. The syllabus we're going to go through right now, and then that's helpful to have it there as a reference. And then I have reading guides, a link to the assignments, and a help page. So real quick, we're going to pop over to the syllabus. Now, I have set this up as a Google Doc so that you can always see an updated version of it. You know, if something has to change, you know, we're about to enter hurricane season, you know, if class gets canceled. We do follow the university on that, even though we are online. So there is also a PDF version of the syllabus over here. And that's the state of the syllabus as of today, August 22nd. So let's click on that live update version. And so you'll see there's already a couple people looking at it, which is great. Here at the top, you'll find my contact information, so my email address, and then because I am also teaching face-to-face, I am going to be on Clemson campus, and I have actual office hours that you can come to. So those are just as much for y'all as they are for my face-to-face class. Those are on Tuesdays and Thursdays and by appointment. And I do live in Greenville, so if you want an appointment on a day other than Tuesday and Thursday, it'll probably be a virtual appointment. Otherwise, if you're coming to my regular office hours, that will be in my office, 511 Strode. So we'll talk more about the theme of this class, which is bodies in literature, as we get rolling. But for now, I just want to introduce you to the main aspects of the course. So do read through this description of the course, but also know that we'll talk about that quite a bit, along with the goals and the outcomes that this class meets. Okay, required materials. This is pretty important. We will be using an anthology. It's called the Broadview Anthology of British Literature, and I abbreviate that by the term BABL, or B-A-B-L. Usually I type that on here. So when you see that word or that acronym in the syllabus, I'm referring to our anthology here. As you're ordering it, make sure that you are ordering the 1-volume compact edition. That's different from the like volume A or whatever. There's a lot of different types of Broadview anthologies of British literature, so make sure you get this 1-volume compact edition. And this is the ISBN if you're trying to get it used, but if you buy it in the bookstore new, then you also get a free copy of the version of Frankenstein that we're using. If you want to use a separate copy of Frankenstein, you must have the 1818 version. So basically, Mary Shelley wrote a couple of different versions of Frankenstein, and the one we use in this class is the one that she wrote in 1818. So if you have the 1831 version, you're going to have a different story, and you're going to have trouble with the class and the quizzes and stuff. So just make sure you have the correct version. Canvas now has a purchase course materials option. So if you scroll all the way down, I don't know why, it keeps adding more and more of these yellow dig links. But anyway, you can purchase course materials. Here we were. You will need a computer. It doesn't have to be a laptop, but you do need a computer for this class. You need speakers and headphones. As you can tell by listening to this video, this course includes audio components. I strongly recommend cloud-based storage. Clemson provides, I think it's 50 gigs on Box and then unlimited storage on Google Drive. Dropbox is also a quality service that's very well integrated with Microsoft Word and other applications. Yeah, so for submitting work, make sure you're submitting it in the correct place and following all the directions. So basically, class participation and discussions and that sort of thing are going to happen on YellowDig, and I will explain what that is. And then written assignments and things like that are going to be submitted to Canvas, and I'd like for you to use Microsoft Office. I think Clemson now offers 2013, but whatever version of Office Clemson is giving you. So basically that means I want the files to be real file types like .pdf or .doc or .docx, not some of the alternative file types. This is to ensure that I can grade your items when you turn them in, instead of having to be like, oh crap, I'm grading and I can't even read this thing that someone submitted, and then we have to email back and forth. Anyway, very important, do not email coursework to me unless you have received prior approval from me. I have a lot of students and I can't actually grade anything in my email. It all has to go through Canvas before I can grade it anyway. So when you email stuff to me, you're just giving me more junk in my email, and then we have to have a whole back and forth about you getting it into Canvas. So if you have an issue, do email me about the issue. Just don't send me an attachment unless I ask you to. So succeeding in this class, this is an online class. It might be difficult for you. It might be easy for you. Maybe you've done this before, maybe you haven't. Regardless, I'm going to be providing tools as we go along. But to begin with, you want to know that you'll be spending approximately 10 to 15 hours each week completing course-related work. And that includes reading, writing, assessments, that sort of thing. So if you think about how much time you would spend in a face-to-face class, this is about it. There's usually like 3 hours of class time, and then, 7 to 10 hours of homework. Definitely log into Canvas and check your Clemson email at least 3 times weekly. I would suggest daily if possible. And keeping a schedule for your online class is going to make things much easier for you. All deadlines are due 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, or whatever time we're on at Clemson. So I realize that during this semester we will switch out of Daylight Savings Time, but Eastern Time. The time that Clemson is on is the time that we are using in this class. Everything's due at 11:59 p.m. except for quizzes. Those are due at 8 a.m. And I'll talk more about that as they arise. Remember, technological problems happen, so plan ahead. Just know that sometimes the power is going to go out. Sometimes the internet is going to go down, and there's not much you can do about that. What you can do is get your stuff ready to go earlier than 11:58. That being said, if you have a problem, do tell me. I know you all have a lot going on, and maybe this is a new type of thing for you. So don't let a problem spin out of control before you talk to me about it. If you need help or you need advice or you just want to let me know about something going on in your life that might impact your work in our class, please do let me know. For responses from me, I will respond within 24 hours of receiving an email or a tag on YellowDig. If I don't respond within 24 hours, you might want to reach out again, because sometimes the YellowDig notifications fail to come through. It's not typical, but every now and then. Or maybe the email didn't come through for some reason. But if it has been more than 24 hours, you are more than welcome to reach back out. Calendar, as I get all the assignment due dates populated into Canvas, that calendar will become populated. Right now, all the due dates are just on the schedule that we'll look at in a minute. So you can see when they're done, but they won't be populated on Canvas at this point. Course navigation. So I mentioned briefly this class is focusing on bodies, and we're going to have 4 different units looking at 4 different types of bodies. So our first section will look at supernatural bodies, then we'll look at female bodies, punished bodies, and we'll conclude with monstrous bodies. And this arc will also take us through time. So we're starting very early in literature, around 800 CE, which is the Common Era, and we're concluding in the 19th century. Okay, so our assignments are listed here in this fun little box. You've got some major assignments that mostly have to do with argumentation and writing and analyzing literature, and I will walk you through how to do those because I know most of you are not English majors. And then we'll have a little class presentation that obviously, since you're in the online section, that's going to work a little differently, but I know that we will figure it out together and it will be awesome. There's some reading quizzes. These are entirely fact-based, not interpretive. So if you have an answer that requires some kind of interpretation, that's probably not the right answer. They're really, really fact-based and they're open book. So they're just to make sure you're doing the reading. You'll have a few homework and classwork assignments that I'll announce as we go along. Yellow dig will be 15% of your grade, and I'll probably make a whole screencast on that. Semester participation, that's like overall, what was the quality of your participation. And then we have a visual analytical project called the Avatar Project. And I will make a screencast with a lot of detail about that as we approach component 1. But you can see that's 13% of your grade. And then the final exam is 5% of your grade. And you can exempt that final exam if you have an A in the course after all of the other assignments are graded. So this is a great incentive to try to maintain an A grade. If you have a question about your grade, cool off for 24 hours before you contact me about it so that you have time to think about my feedback. And I can tell that we can have a good conversation about it. Academic grievances, you can go through the Ombuds office and these people. Feedback and grades, generally about 2 weeks after the assignment is due. And I will primarily offer rubric grading for some of the assignments so that I can actually get them back to you more quickly. And you can always ask for more feedback. Just email me and let me know. I'm happy to do that. The reason I'm going to do some rubric only grading is so that you can get feedback and grades more quickly. All right. Late work, you can turn anything in up to 2 weeks from the original deadline, but it will lose 3 points per 24 hours. And all work must be submitted by the last day of the course. We've talked a little bit about you communicating with me, but let's talk about the quality of communication. So if you've got like a question about an assignment or about the course or something like that, I strongly encourage you to post it on YellowDig and tag it with the Q&A topic so that other members of the class can benefit from it. Because basically, if you have that question, other people probably have that question as well. And then I get to answer it once, and then everybody gets the benefit of seeing that, and they don't all have to keep wondering. And they're like, hey, I'm really glad so-and-so asked that question. If you have a personal question or concern, then definitely email me individually. And note that I can only respond to Clemson email accounts because there's no way for me to verify that a different email account is really you. And there's a set of privacy regulations, it's called FERPA, that restricts me from sharing any information about you or your academic work with an account other than your Clemson email address. So just make sure you're using that one. If you don't use it, I will be like, hey, I need you to use your Clemson email. So that's why. Obviously, this is an online class, so there are some minimum technical skill requirements. And I know that when most of you signed up for this class, it was not an online class. So please get in touch with me as soon as possible if you suspect that you're going to have some issues with any of the technology. Okay, academic integrity statement. Please do all of your work yourself. Don't work with others unless I specifically tell you to. And please don't use work from other classes for this class unless you have advance permission from me. I told you about email, student accessibility services. So if you would like some accommodations or there's something that could make you more successful in this class or any of your other classes at Clemson, I strongly encourage you to contact Student Accessibility Services either through this phone number, this email address, or by going to their website. They can work with you and help you reach the peak of your academic performance. There are some other academic services as well. CCIT will probably be fairly important for you in this online class.